Hey everyone, welcome to Mr. U's Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the new Steven Spielberg film, West Side Story. This film is an adaptation of the Broadway musical and follows the Jets and the Sharks, two street gangs of different ethnic groups. The Jets are white and the Sharks are from Puerto Rico. And there's a lot of conflict between these two street gangs, which is compounded when Tony, who was a former member of the Jets, falls in love with Maria, the sister of the leader of the Sharks. And this love that they have causes a major chain of events. First, let's talk about the cast of this film. And this is a very diverse cast experience-wise. You have a lot of actors that we've seen in many films before, such as Ansel Elgort, who plays Tony. We've seen him in Baby Driver, The Fault in Our Stars, and many other films. And then you have a lot of supporting actors such as Rita Moreno, Ryan Darcy James, and Corey Stoll, who we've seen in films before, and they really stand out in the cast. But the actors that stand out the most are those who we really haven't seen too much of on film, especially Rachel Zegler, Ariana DeBose, and Mike Feist. I thought those three really stood out in this film. And this is a great opportunity to really, showcase these actors and give them kind of a platform to be seen on film if that's the direction they want to go to. Because I know they have experience, on Broadway, or at least on stage, in theater. And if they really want to get into film, this is like a great showcase for all of them, I thought. I already know Rachel Zegler is gonna play the next Snow White in a live action remake, and she's gonna be in the new Shazam movie, so she's already been kind of getting a start in film. So I thought this was just a nice mixture of actors that really have a lot of experience on film or on stage for many decades, many years, and then we have a nice kind of group of actors who are kind of starting their acting careers. They're still young actors. And I know they're gonna go to great places just by seeing their performances in this film. Now let's move on to the technical aspects of this film, because these technical aspects are essential for any musical, whether it be on stage or on screen. First of all, the directing by Steven Spielberg, one of my favorite directors, was really spectacular. And was I really surprised? No. Because I think he's just a great director, especially his more older films are the ones that really stand out in my mind. And as you'll see on my right, you'll see some of his films posters, and you'll see some of his films right there behind me. And he really knew how to approach a musical, this being his first musical film. He knew just how to really direct it, how to make certain beats of the music fit in with the scenes going on, and all those little things with the choreography and the implementation of the music, which were both spectacular. These are those, the music of this musical, of this film, is very classic, very well known to a lot of people, and the choreography as well just really fit the music during those musical scenes. But Spielberg also directed just the normal kind of talking scenes, where maybe a lot of drama is going down, with a lot of care. He really knew how to approach this film, and he did just a well done job here. And the cinematography as well by Janusz Kaminski, who is a very frequent collaborator with Spielberg, also really popped out from the screen. The use of color especially is very important with this film. It becomes very apparent because you'll see many scenes where the colors are more drained out, more dreary, to kind of fit the tone and almost tell a story just through the colors, send a message through that. And then we'll have other scenes where the colors are vibrant, and you'll see one group, like the Jets, wear one color, and then the Sharks wear another color, kind of to distinguish the two. There's an awesome kind of dance sequence in like a high school, I believe. So you distinguish the two through just the use of color and the costume design. that they wear. So I thought all the technical aspects really stood out from this film, as it should in a musical. Now let's talk about the adapted story of this film. Now in the first half, and no spoilers of course, but in the first half you get introduced to the conflict between the Jets and the Sharks, which is a major aspect of this story, and a very intriguing aspect too. Seeing how the two groups have just not good relations, and very easily something can turn to violence in an instant. And that really is a catalyst of a lot of things that occur later on in the film, a lot of conflict that occurs later. But to be honest, once they get to the romance aspect of the film between Tony and Maria, that was really what I wanted to stay with, because that's truly the heart and the soul of the film. And of course, in the first half, when they go back to the Jets and the Sharks and the conflict between them, there is still a lot of important stuff, but I thought there was also a lot that could have been trimmed down and even cut out, even with some of the musical numbers. But you understand why the filmmakers don't want to touch the musical, they don't want to change too much, because a lot of the audience know the story and musical numbers by heart. So you don't want to really change too much, but I felt like there were certain aspects in the first half that were redundant, especially, once you get introduced to the romance aspect. That was more something that I wanted to stay with, and less with certain redundant things between the Jets and the Sharks. But once you get to the second half of the film, and when the second half starts, because there's a major event that occurs, like a climax that occurs. Once you get to that second half, I wouldn't change a thing in the film. I thought, the stakes really grew high, and everything that was kind of brought about in the first half comes to fruition in this second half of the film, and it leads to just a powerful ending. With the acting, the performances, and the directing by Spielberg, with the music and the choreography and the cinematography, and especially with the second half of the story, I thought this was a solid adaptation of the musical. So I give West Side Story a B+. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, don't forget your popcorn. Until next time, from Mr. U to you, stay tuned.